let's get right into it. Okay, first thing I wanted to show you, click on the link in our document for episode number 13 that says AI
Okay.
photos. So there's this website called thispersonisnotreal.com or something like that. I'll put the link in the chat. And basically you refresh and it infinitely gives you a new person. And none of these people are real. They're all AI generated. And generally they look pretty good. Like they look like people, okay?
Yeah.
And I ended up at this website. I've been there before, but I ended up on this website a couple days ago, and I just fell into this loop. I couldn't stop refreshing. I was just looking after person over person. I probably looked at a couple hundred different people, and so okay. So what this file is, and I can put the link to this file as well. Um, it's 4 screenshots that I took of people who just like something was up with these people. And so I thought like it's interesting to just realize that yeah, AI is here, but we're on like the cutting edge, like all this stuff is brand new, it's breaking, and we get to see it. And so I think it's just an important moment of history to like take a step back and be like, wow, like this stuff is amazing, but it's also pretty crappy, and we get to experience it. So, what do you think of these 4 screenshots?
Yeah, it's nuts. It's crazy that this is real. Yeah, the screenshots you took are funny. Like one of them looks perfect, like flawless
Yeah.
human. The other ones have some funky issues, but yeah, this is pretty crazy.
Yeah, one of them there's like a half person in the background who has like one eye and then a squished eye, and yeah,
Yeah,
some weird stuff. One person's got like a cut on their head.
a
You know,
massive gash.
it makes me wonder like was the AI model trained on some person that has like a brain injury or something?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, it is hilarious.
Interesting. Anyways, little random thing. And by the way, I've been okay. So we finally figured out the editor. So, hooray!
Yeah,
If you're watching this, you're gonna start seeing more consistent content coming out. Um, and the funny thing is, actually, 2 of them like came through at the same moment. But, anyways, I've been watching back a lot of the videos, at least the beginning part, and we're pretty boring. Like we have pretty terrible intros. I'm not gonna
yeah,
lie.
it's so bad.
So I don't know. I tried to kind of get right into something, maybe make it a little better because I feel like we have like 10 seconds, not even like 5 seconds, to engage someone, and I think that's
Yeah,
why most podcasts put like a little super interesting clip at the beginning. Um,
yep.
but we don't have that yet.
I like
Anyways,
that. I like that idea. Take a clip from later, put it at the beginning, like a sneak peek, a little preview.
yeah. I mean, it's not like I'm a genius. Like every podcast ever does that. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no. That's not,
um,
but I'm saying we should do it.
we should. Yeah, I think it's just it might cost more.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, we'll
All
get
right.
there
What do you got
eventually.
next? You're kind of taking over today. I've got nothing for us.
Yeah.
Except, you know what? I've got one thing, and while we're talking about this person does not exist,
Yep.
let's actually get into that.
Let's do it.
I texted you this.
Okay.
I saw a Twitter post this week. I don't have it pulled up here, but it basically was like, this is a project. The guy, whoever tweeted it, was like, this is a project I did. I basically created this fake person, and here's all these photos and like background on it and how I did it. And um, it's like a really attractive girl. She's like young. She's probably in her 20s, blonde, blue eyes, like just the typical attractive girl that I think most people are attracted to. And yeah, I feel like there's a huge opportunity to do the same thing he did, create a bunch of attractive girls, and basically turn them into influencers on social media. When I look at like my feed, if I go through and if there's any like, if you go on the explore page and you see an attractive girl, you click on their profile, like they'll literally have just created an account and have like 100K followers. And it's like,
Yeah.
what is going on here? How does that happen? So yeah, the algorithm on like Instagram specifically seems to reward like attractiveness. So why don't we just go create the perfect attracted AI girl? And actually, I take that back. Let's go create a bunch of them and then just
Yeah.
start posting content. And you can basically post the same content on all of them. And think about some of these influencers, even if you have like 100K followers, are making a good amount of money. And you can 100x that if you have 100, you know, 100 influencers of your portfolio. What
Yeah.
do you think?
I like the idea. I think the difficult thing is to get the same person over and over again. But if, like you said, this dude on Twitter figured it out, then the other opportunity I see, or maybe this is a huge roadblock, is Instagram is now hugely biased towards Reels, right? So they want to see videos.
I
So
know, I know.
what that means is you need to be able to get these AI to a point where you can do high quality video that you would see from an influencer that looks edited, but is really just a bunch of clips, right? Like as in
Yep,
someone does a travel vlog and it's a bunch of cuts, right? Like you need to have that
yep,
um, for the AI. But you're right. The thing is, if you figure it out for one, you can do it for 100. You can do it for 1,000. And then at that point,
yep,
it's just like, let me go hire some VA in the Philippines and whatever. They can reproduce this over and over again.
yep, 100%. Yeah, the video part is tough. Also, what do you think of like the would you feel okay doing that?
I
I
don't
feel
know.
a
I
bit on the
feel weird.
fence. Yeah, I feel a
Yeah.
bit weird. I don't know how I feel about
I
making a fake attractive girl and trying to get guys to bite. Feels a bit,
yeah.
I don't know.
It's like this is kind of the more PG-13 version of Sean's idea, which was an OnlyFans creator made all by AI, and he said
Yeah,
that he actually had someone DM him that they were doing it, and
wow.
he's like, I don't want to see any of it, but text me updates. Like I'm curious, how many subscribers you get, how much money you earn, stuff like that. So yeah,
Yeah,
it feels a little weird. Like I don't think it's not necessarily something I would love to spend my time doing.
yeah,
But I agree that there's a big opportunity. I mean, why not
yeah.
do it with a guy? You can do it with guys too, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Make it
Definitely.
make it non-gender. Like, who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't
do
matter.
do
It doesn't
do a
matter.
dog. Do a dog, dude. Like,
Yeah, yeah. That's a good
anyways,
idea.
possibilities are there.
Yeah, I just think the reason I go immediately go to attractive women is that's 100% the easiest way to gain a following. And
Yeah.
also you're gonna make the most money as a woman, like doing influencer deals, right?
Yep.
I would guess. I haven't done, that's not like a statistic, but
Let's go into the next thing. Do you want to hear about charcuterie boards or about an
yes,
Amazon scam?
I want to hear about charcuterie board.
This started back when I was still in Arizona. So, I don't know, more than 6 months ago. My sister started selling charcuterie boards. And what that means is she would go do all the shopping. She would put all the stuff really nicely on the board. It would take her a couple hours. She can't drive yet, so my dad would take her to the store. And then she would sell this a pretty decent, like a pretty big sized charcuterie board um, to people that we knew is how it started out. And she at first she was making like 100, but this past weekend was the Super Bowl, I think. Is that right?
Yep,
Yeah. So it's gonna be farther once this gets edited, but she made two, and one of them she made $200 off of. First thing is we live in a pretty nice area, so there's lots of people around us who are willing to pay good money. Okay, so here are the big selling points and the reasons that this works. One, she's a young kid, right? Everyone loves supporting
yep,
young kids. Two,
yeah,
it's a really good idea. Like people want something nice for guests, either when you're having people over or when you're going over to some place. It's a really good gift because, or a really good thing to have. Everyone can eat something of it, right?
yep,
And it's not like a big steak that you have to be like, oh, it's leftovers. Like no, it's some crackers and olives, whatever. You can eat it the next day, throw it in the fridge. So okay, anyways, those are the big selling points. So she's just doing this on the side. So she has a waitress job. That's her main job. But she does this on the side. It's kind of fun, and so she's making good money, right? Like $200 and maybe let's say $50 on ingredients and the board, which you can reuse.
yep,
So that's all the investment you need, and then you just gotta have time and then deliver it to the people. Okay,
yeah,
boom.
yeah,
That's all you need. So I start thinking, how can we get this so that it makes a lot more money? And how can we make this to a point where it's a business so that it doesn't rely just on the person on top? So I have a couple ideas. Okay. And by the way, I kind of talked to my sister about this and she didn't seem super excited. Like, so she spends most of her time again working at the restaurant, and she says she actually enjoys it. She really enjoys working at the restaurant. She's a hostess, so I'm not going to try to convince her to do something just because I think it's cool. But so she's set on that, and so yeah, I don't know. I'm putting this out there for whoever wants to take it because basically I think anyone can do it. I think it just works better when you're a younger kid and when you're younger. A couple of ideas. First one is make a course. So teach a bunch of other young girls. This can easily go viral on TikTok, I think, on YouTube. How to make charcuterie boards, how to set up a business to sell, how to market to sell it, what to charge, what ingredients to get, exactly how to put it together. I think you could do maybe 15, 20 hours of content, charge. I mean, if people are making like, let's just say $100. I think you can easily charge $100, 150, $200. And the thing is, you can market. Don't even market to the kids. They don't have money to spend. Sell it to the parents. Do you know how many parents would buy this for their kid and be like, "I want you to do something with
Yeah.
your life. Go make money, please," right? And so I think that's
Yeah.
opportunity
Yeah. Yeah.
number one. Make this course super simple. You can have a recurring subscription afterwards for people to be in a community. So that's kind of idea number two. All these are interconnected. So idea number two, a recurring subscription. I don't know, $20 a month, $30 a month. Premium can be like 100, and just support these people. You know, how to set up, how to find more customers, things, you know, exactly what to say to help sell them. Okay, so those are two ideas. Okay, is to set it up in our area and just hire a bunch of other kids to do it. So basically say, all
Yep.
right, I'm focused here. This is my radius. I don't want to drive more than 10 minutes, let's say. So I'm gonna go over to this school. I'm gonna hire this girl, and I'm gonna go sell this stuff. So I'm gonna sell it. All you have to do is make it and deliver it, and I'll pay you whatever, blah blah amount. And so you kind of set up. It's like a little pyramid, you know. And you can be like, okay, if you recruit someone, I'll give you
Oh yeah.
50 bucks. You know, if you recruit someone, once they make their first delivery, I'll give you 50 bucks or something. And then you kind of just go
Yep.
and you set up this little empire of people. And you know, there's some flaws to this. This is like one of the first ideas that we talked about when we met, which was your little tutoring center idea, where you connect
Yep.
tutors and kids. And you know, maybe you lose some people. Again, I'm not saying these ideas are perfect. I just think there's some things to think about. So, and
Yeah.
any feedback on my three ideas?
Oh, yeah, no, no, I love it. I love it. I think somebody should do it. This is the new and improved Girl Scout cookies. So if you're
Yep.
bored doing Girl Scout cookies, move on to charcuterie boards. Dude, it's
Yeah.
really funny because I met a girl recently at school, and somehow she started telling me about how she does this exact thing. Like she
Really?
does charcuterie boards. She started in high school,
Really?
and yeah, and I was like, she's from like McCormick Ranch area, and I was like, oh wow, that's cool. Did you ever like get big enough to like, get some friends to help you out? And she was like, yeah, I have 15 employees and
What?
they all do this for me. Is that crazy?
Are you
And I was like, how
serious?
much have you made? And she, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was like, how much have you made? And she had made like 100 grand in a year,
No
like in that
way.
past year. I was like, dang, that's insane. Yeah, isn't that nuts?
Yeah. What is?
This was
Can
like a month
you?
ago.
Yeah. Can you connect this girl with my sister?
Dude, I have no clue who she is. So I met this, it's hilarious. I met this girl because I was running a booth for like the alumni department back when I was working here. And I had like an AJ's cup, and she was like, I don't know, made a comment about AJ's. And then we just started talking. And I literally, I don't even think I ever got her name. Like I have no clue who she is.
Damn, that's crazy. So she made
But
like 100K, had 15 employees, and you think she was doing the third model that I described, yeah?
yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah.
what?
Yep, third model.
Wow.
Yeah, so dude, it's a great idea. It is a great idea. She started doing it in high school, still kind of does it in college, but like she doesn't actually do it. It's like her buddies or employees or whatever you want to call them are the ones that are still doing it. Um, but I'll try and look for it. I'll look for it online because I'm sure she has a website. So you look too, just like
Oh look,
McCormick Ranch or Scottsdale charcuterie boards, something like that.
dude, side hustle of the century right here. Like this is
Yeah,
undiscovered territory, you know? No one's talking about this
yeah.
on TikTok.
No, no, dude, it's really good. It's really good. I think there's a lot of things you can. Charcuterie boards is easy because, especially like in a nicer area, like everyone wants something like that. But I think this is a you can do this with a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
like
I didn't
yeah.
take any time to think about what else you can do this with. Do you have anything off the top of your head?
Um, okay, one thing I've kind of seen. This is a bit different. This is like maybe requires a little bit more skill, but
Okay.
like balloons, like balloon decorations. There's like those little balloon towers that you see. I I'm sure there's a couple companies that do it, but I think if you're a young kid, anybody can learn how to build a balloon tower.
Yeah.
Go and build balloon towers and take them to like fancy parties or bachelorette parties or baby showers or whatever it is. That'd be a good one.
Yeah. Dude, screw like trying to figure out Amazon FBA. These are so simple and they work so well. Just go do one
Oh
of
yeah,
these.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I
shoot, I'd
agree.
probably make more money
Also,
if I was selling charcuterie boards if I was a 15-year-old girl.
dude, I know when this girl was talking about it, like she was nothing special. She was just like a normal girl, and I was like, dang, like I've like gone on these little like side tangents, done all these little like side hustles, all this work, and I've made like, you know, not 100 grand. And she's made 100 grand in a year doing not really doing much work. And that's
Wow.
fun. Like that's a fun thing. That's a fun thing for little girls to do. Dude, so why is your sister out on the last idea? Like this sounds Maybe she's
Well,
just
here's the thing. I didn't even pitch her the idea because I knew what was gonna happen is if I told her the idea, and she'd be like, oh, that sounds cool, and then so I was trying to sell her first on it. I'd be like, I have an idea for how you can make many thousands of dollars, and she was like, like I like
what?
my I like okay I didn't put it like that, but I was basically like I have an idea that you can really spend a lot more time on the charcuterie board, but you can't you got to make time, and so you're not gonna be able to work all the hours you work at Vito's. That's the restaurant she works at, and
Okay.
um and she was like, oh, but I really like the job, and I was like, dude, you are the first person in the last 100 years to say that you like a restaurant job. Like there is not a single
Yeah.
other person out there. They have like the highest turnover rates out of anything, and
Yeah.
and she's like, oh no, I really like it. So hey man, like I'm not here to ruin anyone's happiness, but it's out
Dude,
there. I mean, who knows?
you gotta change the pitch. You gotta change the pitch.
Yeah.
Just the first pitch you had was great. Like, don't even mention giving up hours
Okay.
because she won't have to give up hours for a while, right? Like, there's a way to like work both if she really wants to. But dude, if she starts making thousands of dollars, she's gonna want to quit. I would think. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not.
I think
But
I think the issue is she isn't gonna have the bias towards action, the motivation that you need to get this started.
yeah, that might be where you come in. You might have
Yeah,
to help out.
I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it. It's possible. Who knows? It could happen. Yeah, I was trying to sell her on like problems first, sales strategy. You know that one?
What is it?
Like there's problems first and then there's goals first.
Oh, yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, so I was trying to do problems first because I'm like, oh, you must hate your restaurant job. She's like, no, I love it. I was like, you
You're like,
must
what?
you must get paid terribly, and she was like, oh, I'm doing fine. So
Totally ruined.
yeah, maybe I need to do goals first. I was like, how would you like to have $10,000 sitting in your bank account next
Yeah,
month? How would
yeah.
you like that?
That
um,
is hilarious. Um, dude, you could even be like, I'll cover all the costs at first, or like, I'll cover the majority of the costs. You just have to pay me back, but like, I'll cover it. Like, I'll help you. Like, let's do this thing. That'd be
yeah,
cool.
I think I could get my dad to even cover the cost. I know he's been helping her with like taking her to the store
Oh,
and
there you
stuff.
go.
So there's still potential. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think this is a
Dude,
plus idea. I like your balloon tower, and I'm gonna try to think of more of these because I would bet there's a lot more that you can do just like this.
definitely. Also, quick note, I love the idea of like working or like helping our siblings because I think about this a lot. So I have a little brother who is he's 13, so he's like young. He's really young. He kind of like wants to get into business. Like that's what he says. Probably because that's he knows that's what I want to get into. So more like mimicking. But I was thinking the other day, like, man, if I had somebody like when I was that age, when I was 13, I also really want to get into business and like I would buy and sell things and like was definitely business minded. But I literally had nobody to look up to. Like I didn't know anybody older than me who was into that kind of thing. And I just think if I had someone like me to like mentor younger me, I could be way further ahead right now. Even by something simple, like I've been thinking, so I drive my little brother to like a youth group every Sunday night. I'm like, I'm just gonna start playing My First Million in the car and just like see if he likes it. And just I don't know. Anyway, I like the idea of like helping out our siblings. It'd be fun to work
Yeah,
together.
I like it too. I kind of tried to do it a little bit, and it didn't work out well for me. Like they just didn't have the motivation to
Okay.
do it. I was like, okay, whatever. You guys maybe sometime in the future, like when I was your age, whatever. Things are different. I like the idea. I think it's more difficult in practice. Sounds like you might have a chance.
Did you
Cool.
so you have a little brother who's like only a year younger than you, right? Year,
Yep.
2 years?
Yeah. 1 year.
Is it Kellen? Is that his name?
Kelton. Yeah.
Kelton. Is he like-minded? Is he into the same sort of thing as you?
Not really. He's
No.
he yeah no like sometimes I think he is, but I don't know. Like I think he's spends a lot of time playing baseball. Yeah. So that's definitely like a big focus of his. And I've heard that what he does now is just play chess. And honestly, I think that's a great use of time. Like
Yeah.
way just a massive percent of the really successful people in this world are really good at poker or really good at chess or something like that. So yeah, I think being like that is one thing where you can waste time and it's not wasting time. Like I think that is a good use of time.
Yeah, yeah. I'm actually starting to get in chess right now. Do you play?
Yeah. Um,
Do you play?
not really. No, did I ever tell you I was getting into Go, like the Chinese chess?
I saw your LinkedIn post on it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
we
yeah,
never
yeah.
talked about it. So fill me in.
I mean, do you know what it is? Do you know what the game is?
No. In fact, when I saw your LinkedIn post, I looked it up and I tried to play. I was like, oh, I'll figure it out. And very quickly, I was like, nope, I have no clue what I'm doing here.
So it's a very simple game in theory. Basically, there's the board, and then I have a white little circle, a white little token. You have a black token, and then you put it on. So there's a bunch of lines. You put them on the intersection of the line, right? So
Yep.
the idea is if I put a white down and you surround me on four sides by a black, then you capture me. And so it can be as big as you want, and there's different ways to capture you. And dude, I was like, oh, this game, like, what's the hype? You know, this is super simple. Surround someone, capture them. Easy peasy. No, no, no. It is not. It is not that simple. Not at all. In fact, it is really difficult. And I am like seriously, I was playing against the like second from the bottom AI, and I was getting
Yep.
beat like left and right. And I was like, dude, wow, this there's some real strategy in the game.
Oh,
Um,
for sure.
yeah. So yeah, it seems it's really simple in practice, but it gets complex and there's lots of strategies.
Yep.
So yeah, it's
The
fun. I
thing
haven't
that,
played recently, but it's similar to chess, definitely.
yep. Yeah. The one observation I had was, yeah, there's only one piece. And so it sounds like one of those games where it's like, oh, you can just learn the pattern and memorize it and then win every time. But no, you can make it as hard as you want because you've got all the different size boards. You've got like four
Yeah.
by four or like 8 by 8 or whatever it is, like all the way up to what is it, 12 by 12? Is that the biggest board?
I think 13 by 13, but yeah. Anyways, those are super cool. Love that. All right, what do you want to talk about now? You got the Amazon scam, you got a brand called Mischief, or we can talk about James Dyson and the book that I read about him.
Let's talk about Mischief. I've heard of him, but I don't know much
Okay.
about him.
So Mischief is most known probably for their sneakers. So
Okay.
m- what you might remember them for is they created this so Air Max 97, basically what it has for anyone who doesn't know, it has a little air bubble on the bottom. And what Mischief did was they took a white Nike of this version and they put water from the Jordan River, I think, into the bottom. And so they basically said, this is the Jesus shoe. We're selling a very limited edition, I don't know, like 700 of them. And you're going to actually be walking on water, right? And so that's the
Hmm.
idea behind it. So super limited. Obviously, sneaker community went nuts and got a ton of press coverage. And then what happened was they also did a second version called the Satan shoe. And so they did opposite, which this one actually might have been bigger in terms of marketing. It was Little Nas X was the partner for this one. And so you can see it's the exact same concept, just black with red. And there's little it was limited edition 666, and they had like blood or I don't think it was real blood. It was red liquid in the bottom. So super super unique, super cool ideas. And okay, do you have any questions or thoughts so far before I keep going?
No, I'm looking it up. This is awesome.
Okay, that's two of their sneakers. That was like back in the beginning, and their whole brand is built on this model of create something super unique that does not care about culture. It does not care about making money. It does not care what people think about us. Like we have our group of people, or we will attract a group of people who are really passionate about this, and we can sell whatever we want basically. And so the guy who created this company, his name's Gabe Whaley. He's a kid. It's super hard to find any information on him. Basically, he's just a white kid, brown hair. His LinkedIn's completely empty, exactly what you would expect. He used to work for BuzzFeed, so I think that helps him. Like he's a genius marketer. So the whole
Yeah.
idea behind this company is unique products with really really good marketing. Okay, this kid is also a piano genius. So I don't know.
Mm,
Take that as you will. Okay, so started out in 2016 as a marketing agency. Okay, and the first thing they did was they did marketing for Casper, the mattress company. That was back when they
yeah.
were like booming, and that was the big new thing. Um, I don't know. In 2018, they sold some like Microsoft netbook for over $1 million. I don't really know the whole story behind it, but it was some marketing thing for Casper, I believe. So in 2019, they started doing their own products. That was when the Jesus shoe came around. And then basically what happened is they raised some money then. So 2019, it was really difficult to figure this out, but I think in 2019 they had a $3.5 million seed round, and then it seems like since then they've raised either 12 million or something like that. So That's the background. All right, so they've had some controversies. I want to talk. Okay, this is probably the most interesting thing. I want to talk about the really cool products that they have. So if you click on this doc that I have, you can scroll down. Okay, so the thing at the very top that says history. If you click on that, it's going to take you to a page and it has a ton of cool products. I'm going to pick out some that I picked out. So they basically said, hey, you can make a font for free. Then they had this really interesting thing. So you could buy a $100 mystery box, and it could have up to $7,000 worth of things inside. But if you hold on to it for 100 days and you send it back to us, we will pay you $1,000. Right? Really interesting, really strange. No one else is doing this stuff. They basically have, another cool thing. So they had this free car, and they basically said, here's this little like mystery map. Go figure out where this car is. Here's the key. Here's the key, and then the car is somewhere in this radius. Just walk around the city like beeping the key, basically, if you find it. So I think they had like 50 different keys, and it was basically a race against time to find this car. It was somewhere in like Philadelphia, I think. And it wasn't a nice car. It was like some old car with like wood paneling on the side, whatever. But it got a ton of attention, right? That's the whole point of this.
Yeah.
And they had this one campaign where they paid TikTokers to do anti-ads. So basically say, I don't know the exact details, but basically be like, here's why you shouldn't buy Nike or something like that, right? So something like that. And essentially they have these 3 different tiers. They have categories where they lose money on products, some that are free, they break even, and some that they make a lot of money. And so what we've seen recently is they make a lot of money on the sneaker drops. So look up Big Red Boot on Google. And tell me what you see.
It. I mean, it looks like a cartoon boot, but it's like massive. Like, yeah, it looks like a cartoon boot.
Basically. So they sold this. This was just like last week. So they have this huge giant. Like seriously, guys, look this up if you don't know what I'm talking about. It's this huge boot. It looks like if you ever watched Astro Boy, it looks like his boots. And the $350 was the retail price. They sold out, by the way, immediately, because these are crazy and insane and. That's what people like. I think they were supposedly reselling for around $750, but I know they were delayed in shipping, so that could come down in the future. Okay, so they dropped this, and then if you keep scrolling, if you go on their website, you can see they have other shoes, and so I think their big product that they make money on, it seems to be shoes, and they've kind of leaning towards shoes recently, but they have all sorts of things. They had like a big Fruit Loop, so one giant Fruit Loop in a cereal box. They have like cologne that smells like WD-40. They have this giant bag that's supposed to look like chocolate or cheese or something like that. Anyways, not everything's on the website. So they have a ton of cool stuff. And what I thought was really interesting is the way they go about doing this. And so every 2 weeks they drop a new product. And what happens is, so they have 13 people in the office. Founder, CEO, has a whiteboard. So the whole week they go through just running as many ideas as they can. They pick one, okay, and then that's the product for the next week, the next 2 weeks. On Friday they just erase everything and start over completely fresh the next week. And he said, one thing that I thought is really interesting, and I think this is super important. Thinking about one day I want to have a startup, I need to have this mentality. Is I don't hire for specific roles. I just look for people that fit the personality, like the hacker type personality. That fit in the culture because they will provide value in some way. It's, we'll figure that out later. And the other thing is they're not optimizing for profit now. They could make 100,000 of these sneakers and just to get profit. No, they're not doing it. They kept it limited to like 1,000 pairs. And so they have this long-term thinking of like, I want to build a brand and I don't care about the money now. We raise VC money, future's in the future. So, by the way, one more point on that and then I'll stop talking. CoffeeZilla, and you've probably heard of him before from My First Million. He's this guy who exposes scams, basically. Yep. He did an episode on them, and he basically said, look, there's this other company called Circo Global. I'll put the link, and, they're not up anymore, is the thing. So you can search them up, because you're not going to find anything online. What they did is MSCHF released some product, like a dog collar that curses whenever the dog barks, or something like that. And they had super limited release on MSCHF, and then months and months later, Circo Global is selling the exact same thing with a slightly different name. And so he's like, that's really weird. Like, I feel bad for MSCHF. These guys are ripping them off. He did a little bit of research to have the exact same address, so it's the same company. But now it's dead. This video was made like 2 years ago. Now that website's dead. And so I really think they realized, like, okay, we don't want to kill the brand. We're going full in on this mentality. So yeah, there's my little pitch about MSCHF.
Dude, this is awesome. What a good find. This is crazy. I'm looking at their, like I was kind of going through their recent drops when you were talking.
Yep.
One of them, and this is cool too. For every drop, they have a separate website. So you click on the link,
Yep.
it takes you to literally like a brand new website. So drop number 54, guns2swords.com. You ship in a gun and they'll forge it, like they'll melt it down to metal and then make a sword out of it and send it back.
Yeah.
That's insane. And
That
there's
is.
no way they're making money doing that. Like that's insane. Yeah, this is cool. This is really cool. I love the idea of like taking a hit now, like a massive hit
Yep.
probably, and not caring about money for the future payout. It sounds like maybe they tried to find a way around it by starting that second company, maybe kind
Yeah.
of under the radar. But yeah, it's great that they shut that down and are actually going all in because yeah, this is the brand that like society is going to fall in love with. This is awesome.
Exactly. Yeah, like there's a group, and the group is growing who love this kind of thing, and there's not many people who are willing to do this. By the way, I found the anti-ad campaign. So it's basically like, we'll pay you $10 if you attack TikTok for content suppression. We'll pay you $1,000 if you attack Tesla for employee health negligence and union busting. And it went all the way up to $20K if you attack Palantir for big data, for evil, and being the name cops trust. And I don't you had to get like a certain amount of views in order for you to get the payment, but yeah, pretty cool ideas.
Super
So,
cool ideas. Well,
anyways,
they just gained a fan. I'm a fan
yeah,
now. This is awesome.
if
The only
if I was
reason I
building a
wasn't a fan
brand like,
before,
what's that?
the only reason I wasn't a fan of this before, because I didn't know what it was. So, dude, I just feel like once people, the common public knows about this, yeah, they're gonna kill it.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, you've heard about like some of these things before, right? So they were like in the back of
Yeah,
your head. Yeah, so I think they're just gonna keep doing this marketing stuff, and then I don't know, one day they'll switch it up. But I love this, and I think this is exactly the kind of brand I would want to build if I was doing something like this. Like a consumer product brand like this. Super like crazy, unique ideas, all this kind of stuff. Just with a bunch of your buddies, all week figuring out what you're gonna sell next. So amazing.
yeah,
I
it's
love it.
dope. Like this guy is living his 12-year-old dream. Like that's the goal. I think every
Exactly.
retailer has like a crazy creative side, but they limit it for a profit, which is fine. But yeah, this guy has a cool mindset of I don't care, I just want to have fun and make cool stuff. Money will come later.
Yeah. Okay. So that's mischief. What do you want to talk about next? Pick one of my.
Let's do just one dime.
So just one dime. I got into this because I was looking at, what was I looking at? This is very similar to the kind of thing that we sell, but with a very important difference. The idea is just one dime. You might have seen these ads, honestly. Okay, what happened is I was scrolling listings for the things we can buy, e-commerce businesses,
Yep.
and so many times on this one website you see this thing. It's called like build my brand or something. And they basically say, give us 30K, we're going to set you up with an Amazon product that works. That's the idea behind it. Obviously, this is
Okay.
a scam, because if they could set up all these infinite products that work, they would just do it for themselves and make a boatload of money. So,
Yeah.
in my opinion, it's obvious. For other people not in e-commerce, it might be a little bit, more complicated. And the thing is, theoretically, this does work on a smaller level. If you have 100 people, you might be able to do it for 100 people. But anyways, there's this one company, just one dime. They do this. They basically say, we set up 2 stores for you with a minimum investment of $30,000, I think it was. So 2 years ago, CoffeeZilla made a video saying these guys are scammers. And for basically 1 year and 9 months after that, these guys are like, no, we're real, we're real. And then in September, they file for bankruptcy. Everything goes, whatever, through the roof, whatever you want to call it. They completely shut down. Everyone gets scammed. They all lose their money. Bunch of things happen. So I did a deep dive. I kind of looked into it, like what's going on here. This is gonna be a little bit messy when I'm saying it, but you'll understand the picture then. Okay, so basically what happened is this girl who was some influencer bought the product just to see like if it works, and so she made videos about it. And then after this happened, she had to quit YouTube. But after this happened, she came back. So this is kind of the timeline of what happened. October 14th. This is so pretty recently. They announced that they're shutting down. The founder looks terrible in the videos. In the contract, it says you have 30 days to like terminate anything. He says you have 14 days to take control of your own account. Okay, so something's going wrong. Then, right after this, right after October 14th, he says, "Oh, by the way, we're selling another product. It is only $10,000 extra if you want to upgrade, so that we can arbitrage your account," which is like slightly different way of selling. Doesn't really matter. So November 8th is the last message. And according to this lady on YouTube, I don't know, a lot of people said yes. They were like, oh yeah, whatever. You're like, I'll upgrade to arbitrage. He probably promised them, great returns. November 23rd, so 6 weeks later, 6 weeks after the first announcement, files for bankruptcy. Okay, everything goes bonkers. I didn't exactly find out how long it takes to file bankruptcy, but this lady on YouTube was pretty convinced that you would know more than 6 weeks in advance that you're going to be bankrupt, right? And so
Yeah.
she was like, whatever. What I'm really mad about is that he sold this after the thing was going bankrupt. Basically, tons of stuff going down. Then I kind of got into, I went back and I watched like the videos of this company that this company was making. And they were saying like, oh, conservatively, we're going to make 200% on our investment. Like super small chance that we fail. 3 out of 100 products fail, so we have a 97% success rate. By the way, that's why we make you invest in 3 products, so 10K each for a minimum of 30K. So 3 products, with my 3% fail rate, even if one fails, that still gives you 2, basically guaranteed. And his exact quote is like, we've run it 100 times, every different way, like this is, it's gonna work, right? Like it's gonna be amazing. These are the stats. This is what's gonna happen. Anyways, in my opinion, pretty obvious that it's a scam, but so after CoffeeZilla published this video, Just One Dime hires this random guy. I don't know. He's apparently some copywriter. They say, okay, you're gonna be like our content guy. We want you to make a video and like do a reaction to CoffeeZilla. And so he basically the title of the video is like, is Just One Dime a scam? Seth blah 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 exposed. So it makes it seem like we are somebody outside, we're gonna expose them. But the guy goes in, he's like,
Yeah.
it's the channel, the Just One Dime channel. And by the way, this is the last video they ever posted. This is on like September 29th, right? Less than a month before they go bankrupt. And this guy's so I was having like a complete ball just watching this. I was laughing so hard. This guy was ridiculous in every single way you can imagine. Like I honestly think it's worth a watch. So he turns off all the comments. So that's the first thing. And he says, okay, whatever. He goes through blah 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 blah, and he says, okay, one big question we get is why doesn't he just do it for himself? Okay, this is a question I've been asking myself. Why doesn't he do it for himself? Why doesn't he just print money? Like a huge money printer. He says, here's the thing, Seth just can't help it. He's a workaholic, and he sees these fulfilling messages, and he's just addicted to seeing these messages. And I was like, oh my gosh, like. This guy is really saying this. He probably, I don't know if he knows, but the company's basically bankrupt at this point. And he's like, oh, Seth is doing this because he's a workaholic. He just loves seeing all these messages come in. Oh my gosh, completely ridiculous. And he says, he's trying to make Seth seem so good. He's like, well, here's the thing, like Seth, what are Seth's flaws? Like, let me point out the flaws in our program too. He's like, here's the thing. Seth spends too much time working on clients who have already paid. So he's not trying to sell more memberships. And I was just like, that's his flaw, that he spends too much time working on clients who have already paid. Like seriously, I was just like, oh my gosh, crazy. I tried figuring out where this guy was now. I think he like completely died off of social media because people would like, you'd probably punch this guy in the face if you saw him in the street.
Yeah.
So his name is Joel Brian Jones, but like he's got nothing out there. And then the funniest thing was to close out the video. He was like, one reason that Seth keeps me on is that I hold nothing back. I criticize everything. He's like, let me give you an example. When I came on, I saw the merch and I told him that I hated it, and I was like, what? My man, these people are investing their life savings and losing it, and you're telling him that you're a savior because you hate on the merch? Come on!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
So,
dude, I'm looking right now. I'm just on their YouTube channel, and they've got all these thumbnails, and yeah, this man has a very punchable face.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to describe it. He's a ginger. He's got an awful beard. And some pretty cringe thumbnails. This is hilarious.
So this isn't the only guy that got busted. This is just the one that I looked into, and I was seriously, I was having a ball just watching these videos. It was amazing. So,
dude, this is awesome.
I'll put the link, and you guys can go watch it for yourself.
What are his flaws? Makes too much money. Gives customers great return. That's about it.
Yeah, like his flaw is that he himself does not try to sell our products. He really just focuses on good customer service, and that is his biggest flaw. Come on,
That
man.
is hilarious. Wow,
Um,
dude. Also, this should just this gives me confidence. Like the fact that people bought this, and it sounds like a good amount of people paid for this is pretty
yep.
unbelievable. And not only paid for it to start, but then paid an extra 10,000 for an arbitrage opportunity.
Yeah.
Like after yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. So this gives me some confidence. Sometimes when I picture launching something, I picture like the sales part being really hard, which it will be. But yeah, if this guy could sell this, yeah,
Yeah.
enough said.
Anyways, one other random like e-commerce news because I'm in this world. Bed Bath and Beyond filed for bankruptcy, but then they got one like $1 billion in I forget the word, like carryover loan or something like that. So there's this huge debate in the e-commerce industry of like, okay, if one of your sales channels is Bed Bath and Beyond, do you send them your products? Because usually they pay you 90 days after you send it to them. And it's like,
Oof.
should I send it to them? Are they going to pay me? Like, are they going to go bankrupt and then I'm not going to get anything for my products? Like, huge risk. Who knows? Anyways, go use those coupons before they expire.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that's interesting. I didn't know they went bankrupt.
Yeah, they
So
filed
who did
for
they
it.
get this loan from?
I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know the details. I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't look into it. One other interesting thing is that the founders of Bed Bath and Beyond realized that having these little coupons that just sit around, like, they overwhelm you with these little postcards, is actually really good. Like they figured out it's a really good hack for them. I don't think it works for everybody, but it definitely works for them. So that was interesting insight.
Yeah, that is interesting. It's
Anyways,
about time companies like that start going bankrupt. I don't know how that place stays in business. I don't know how any brick and mortar retail place is staying in business right now.
okay, let's jump over to Moonwalkers. So
Cool.
I'm really pissed off because I researched this before Sam and Sean spoke about it on the pod.
No way.
So I'm taking credit for it. Even if they might have physically recorded it, I don't think they recorded it before I researched it. This has literally been on the docket for like, I don't know, 4 weeks. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So just click on it real quick and you can watch the YouTube video and you can see what it is. So please explain so people understand what it is. They're like motorized wheels. They're like wheelies except they have a motor in them. So they make you walk 2.5 times faster than usual.
Oh, they're motorized. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. They go over your
Wow.
usual shoes. Okay, based on what you've seen real quick, just guess the cost for me.
$200.
Dude, $1,400 for these things. $1,400.
Oh my gosh.
What made me like cringe and laugh so hard is that I thought I wrote it somewhere, but the founders of this, they look pretty smart. It took them 5 years to develop this. 5 years.
Oh my gosh.
I could be wrong, and maybe they were working on other products that didn't work out, and then they switched to this. But they were like working on something for 5 years. Anyways, what's your like? My immediate reaction is no one is gonna buy these. Maybe some super rich people who walk around like the Google campus. This is dumb overall. It looks cool, but I don't think anyone is actually gonna use it. And they're doing like a decent job at branding. Sneaker people could use these because it won't wear out your sole, which is a big thing. If you have expensive sneakers, you don't want to wear out the bottom. But yeah, these are guys from like Carnegie Mellon, and they've worked on like race car engines, and it took them 5 years. What do you
Yeah,
think?
that's kind of embarrassing. This is some small boy stuff right here. Um, it seems like one of those. It seems like one of those things that you'd like read about in like a child's like invention book. Do you ever have one of those where you like read through these inventions and it's like
Yeah.
helicopter spinning hat, and it's like, oh, cool. Or like reusable toilet paper. Like it feels like that kind of thing. Like this feels like a joke. Apparently, there's some top engineers working on this. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is cringy. This is cringy.
It's,
I will not
it's
be a customer.
yeah. My one thought is once someone buys it, I think once you start walking at 7 miles an hour, it's really hard to go back to 2 or 3 miles an hour. That could be,
Yeah.
like some lifetime customers, and you could slowly gain people. But yeah, I don't. This isn't a project I would want to work on. So
I mean, dude, if I saw anybody wearing
something
these, I would. Yeah, yeah. It's an L. It's an L. We're not gonna be friends. We're not gonna be friends.
no.
Yeah, this is bad. Dude, is there a thing that is like a sneaker guard for the sole of your shoes? Is that out there?
I don't know. I think there might be some like little plastic things you can put on the bottom, but I am not sure to be honest. I think there might be some made for like walking in rain or mud, but I don't know about
Okay.
I don't know. Like I haven't seen any. You'd think I'd have seen one. So if there is one, they're not very big.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Like, even if it'd be tough because you got all the different sizes. So if you have something that's maybe one size or like is elastic and can just like snap on like rubber,
Yep.
Yeah, dude, that'd be awesome. They just gotta be, it's gotta be not bulky, see through, and it's gotta last a while. But that's a good idea right there.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty decent actually. There could be something out there. I don't know. Okay, let's talk about James Dyson, I think. Or actually,
Sweet.
okay, I just want to get off. So we've had a ton of stuff sitting on the docket for like a couple weeks. I want to get
Okay,
off child prodigies real quick. We'll spend like 2 minutes
let's
going
do
through
it.
this. There's some
Cool.
TikTok account that I ran into that had this 9-year-old who was basically competing in like the world championships for skateboarding at 9 years old, a girl.
Wow.
And she was doing like all the crazy flips you would expect. So real quick, like if you ever need to feel like you suck and you do a terrible job in your life and you need to do more, go watch some of these videos. Like save these, download these to your phone, and set a reminder to watch these every morning because this will motivate you. Okay, so there is just a couple examples. There's a kid who crochets. He's like 6 years old. He's 11 years old. It takes him 54 minutes to make a whole hat that normally takes someone like hours and hours and hours. And his goal is to be a surgeon one day. Pretty cool. There's this skater girl who's 8 years old in the Vans Pro Open. She taught herself. She was literally like next to Pharrell Williams, right? He was like, yeah, man. And then the one that really made me die, which if you click on this link, you can see this little TikTok that I inserted. This guy, IQ genius, like smarter than 99.9% of everyone. He, at the very beginning, he goes like, basically, it feels like there's bumper cars going around in my brain. And I was like, okay, come on. Someone fed you that line, but still,
Yeah.
that's pretty funny. He's 10 years old. He's in his second year of college. He learned 19 programming languages in the 4th grade. He tutors calculus, which is crazy. Not only does he know it, he tutors kids. He spends 3 hours a week on homework. He said his middle school friends take longer. He was like, some people worry that I'm wasting my life. Well, my middle school friends have more homework than I do. I was mind blown. But one thing I really liked is all of these kids, there was another one, a couple other ones too. All of these kids were basically like, I'm really strong, like I have a lot of support and I'm excited to like do these things. And so I thought that was a nice little cherry on top.
Yeah, I'm pumped to go through these. This is awesome. It's hilarious because they've got this like this video on here where he's like doing all these amazing things, and then there's like a video of him playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, maybe let's have a quick philosophy, All right, this segment is called 2 Minute Philosophy with Camden and Connor. Do you
Okay.
think these kids who are, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, have a responsibility to like fully like focus on being as smart as they can and like be in college and do all this stuff? Should they be like, should they be doing that, or should they have a normal childhood? Like, what do you think? Because they can really, make humanity better. But is this like something the older parents, people in charge, should force onto these kids?
My quick answer, no. I don't think they have a responsibility. I think when you're a kid, you don't have the mental capacity to analyze that. You don't have the decision making capabilities. Like your brain is not fully developed. So no, I don't think you have a responsibility. Yes, I think it's a huge waste if your parents do not heavily push you to like go do something impactful.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like we should force these kids to like work. Like these guys have the potential to be the next like Albert Einstein.
Yeah.
Put them all in a classroom, make them all interact with each other. Like I don't know, ship them off to don't put them in like Area 51, but something like that. Like a custom, scientifically proven environment to make these kids like they're already ahead of everyone else, but you need to like push them as hard as you can.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's my quick take on it.
Let's continue this for a second because this is something I've been frustrated with forever. But dude, why is there not like programs like this in school where you take kids who aren't being pushed and put like, I don't know, whether you take them to a higher grade or you like push them to go work somewhere or whatever it is. Why is that not a thing? Like I remember, I'm not a genius, but I remember all throughout school, I never felt challenged at all. Like even I remember being a kid, like sitting in class, and it would be like I would understand a concept very quickly, and then spend the whole year learning about this concept that I understand in 5 seconds. And it's like, well, why didn't somebody? My teacher obviously knew that because she'd ask me questions and I click immediately. It's like, why don't I have a program where my teacher sees that and moves me somewhere else and then starts challenging me? Yeah, that definitely stunted my growth.
Did you have a gifted program at your school?
We had like honors, like in elementary school, and I was in the honors program, but there were only like, I think there were like 4 of us.
But what does honors mean? Like, what did you do?
Yeah, exactly. Like nothing. Like basically, instead of going to art class or something, we would go to honors and there's like honors competitions, but the competitions were like, what are the 5 oceans or however many oceans there are, and like, what are the 7 continents? And it's like, yeah, stuff like that. That's like just does not matter. So we learned like literally, I think the majority of stuff we learned was vocab.
Damn.
Stupid.
I was laughing because you were like 5 oceans or however many there were. Like, obviously, this honors class didn't do too much for you if you don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
no, 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 no.
Anyways, so my school was a little better. We had gifted program, but so it started in third grade, and it was basically this class you went and you played like cool games. We talked about things. I actually really enjoyed it. Like, special
Mm,
projects that were outside of school, like a little bit on coding and some stuff like that. But it was still like nothing close to what it should have been. For real, like starting in kindergarten, I used to finish my math test and like stand up like seriously like super fast. I don't know the exact times, but really fast. People like come to me for answers for my homework in kindergarten. This continued all the way through fifth grade, where I was the only kid who would get like no, I wasn't the only one. There was like me and 3 other kids who would get this special like math assignment because she was like, "Yeah, you guys are literally too good. Like you understand all the math there is to teach in fifth grade. Like go over there and do this." And we were like, "This is easy too." And she's like, "I don't know what to give you." So
yeah,
while we had this gifted program at the same time, clearly there wasn't anything. Elementary school up until maybe eighth grade, seventh, eighth grade. I feel like I could have been 2 grades ahead easily, seriously. And
yeah,
so yeah, it makes me kind of upset sometimes. Like the where I'm born, I could have been 1 year ahead, and so that's what instantly got me. I could have been more than that, right? Based on how easy this stuff was. And so yeah, it makes me a little upset, but at the same time, there's not a good solution. I don't know. Like there was some other school that you had to get invited to if you like scored well enough on this test, and you could be like with all the gifted kids. But everyone was like, oh, that's weird. Like we don't want to do that. Um,
yep.
and one of our classmates he went and he did it, and I don't know, he was really weird, but he's probably really smart now. So,
Yeah.
anyways, this is something that I'm frustrated with. Like, have I ever told you my one like life goal that I have?
No, let's hear it.
It's this school for kids like from the age they're like 2 until they're like 16, 17. My idea is we need to teach kids actually useful things. So the school system right now was set up sometime back in the 1800s, and it was designed to get people ready for the Industrial Revolution because that's what was happening. You need people who are good in factories, who follow orders, who understand basic things, right? Who can do whatever you need to do to perform. Maybe even in the office. Let's say it's been amended a little bit, right? Like over time, some things have changed. But okay, I don't even need to tell you. There's huge flaws. You're learning a bunch of things that don't really matter. We need to learn, and I think Alex Hormozy said there's like 4 basic things. It's like sales, marketing, finance, and some other things. So you need to take these kids, and I think there's a way to like structure their whole upbringing to basically make them super. Okay, there's a couple like basic things. I don't have this pulled up, but supernaturally curious, right? You need them to be curious, have like a bias towards action, be like really good at reading, really good at talking. So they need to understand like psychology. It should be taught in school how to read someone the way we're taught to read a book, right? We need to
Yeah,
be taught psychology to that degree because literally, if the only thing you are taught is psychology, you can make way above the average money just by knowing psychology and understanding
for
how to
sure.
talk to people and how to get yourself in and out of certain situations. We can go more in depth on this in a future episode. I have like this little document and I'm always adding to it. Like a couple times a week, I add little things, insights, and it's like slowly building. And the idea is, let's say sometime in my 30s, I'm successful. I have, sold my company, whatever, and I have enough money to be fine for the rest of my life. Then I have a kid, and I basically do like version 1 of this on my kid and see how it works out. And then by the time he's like 5 or 6 and he's like the genius level like 12, then I can go and start taking other. Unfortunately, this has to be rich people's kids because it doesn't really it can't. I don't know. Maybe you can give a scholarship to someone who's like a genius, but it's difficult because it's impossible to prove. Until you have someone who's
Yeah,
18. So that's a long time. But yeah, the idea is to get a bunch of kids, 20, 30 maybe, and just have this environment with a ton of these activities that are designed to do this. Like this isn't school, this is like your life. Like this is what you do with your life. Like this is a life program, not just a school program. Yeah, we can go more in depth on another episode, but that's kind of the basics.
yeah, dude, it's funny that you said that because before you even said that, I was gonna say I did not. We've never talked about that, so I didn't know that was like one of your life
Cool.
goals, dude. I
Yeah.
was gonna say this is like the school system and like education is definitely something that I feel like I'm passionate enough about that I would like if I retired one day pretty early, like I would
Yep.
dedicate the rest of my life to this. Like
Yeah.
I'm super passionate about it and more based on past frustration. And I think dude, one of the
Yep.
biggest flaws is just like underestimating kids. And I remember feeling like this when I was a
Yep.
kid, and I knew it. I was like, wow, everybody here thinks I'm an idiot. Everyone here
Yep.
thinks like I'm not capable, but I am. And I look back to the things that I thought back then, and I think the same things now, and I have the same mind as I did in third grade as I do right now. Obviously, it's more developed and like I've learned a lot since then, but I had the same personality. I had the same eagerness to learn. I learned just as quick as I do now, and I feel like I was just as sharp as I am now back then. And I wish,
Yeah.
I think if somebody took me and mentored me and put me in a highly skilled, challenging role, I would learn faster than the average adult.
Yep. This is super weird and probably doesn't belong on the podcast, but I think this connects to what you're just saying, so I'll say it. When I was this was probably 2 years ago, I had this thought, and then all of a sudden it occurred to me that I had this exact same thought in the exact same way back when I was in 5th grade. And I literally like had this exact memory of having this thought, and I was like, wow, I'm thinking the exact same way I did when I was in 5th grade, and this was like 10th grade. So like that is crazy to me. And I look back in the same way, and I think, yeah, there are some things that I would have made mistakes, but give me a year, and I would have figured out most of those mistakes, right? Instead of trying to slowly like teach me, yeah. Anyways, so I'm super passionate about this. This has been kind of brewing in my head for maybe a year, and then I don't know, a couple months ago I started this document. So I call it young ones, like a country guy.
Okay.
Young'uns course.
Yeah.
And so
Okay.
yeah. By the way, do you have to go?
Yeah, I gotta go.
Yep. Okay. We'll talk about this again. But I think it was
Yeah,
cool.
let's talk
And
about
then
this.
yeah, and then the other thing is I finished this book, James Dyson, super good autobiography, and I wanted to
Nice.
talk about some of the key insights from it. So we'll get to that too.
Sweet. Awesome. All right, dude. Peace. That was a good one. That was fun. Thanks for
Yeah.
taking lead.
Cool, man. See you.
All right, dude. Peace.